Welcome back to the John Grdina Classroom, where we will walk together through faith, family, fitness, and financial freedom, and where I do my best to be honest with you about what God is actually doing in my life so that you can find courage to be honest about what He is doing in yours. My name is John Grdina, and today's episode is one of the most personal ones that I've ever recorded because I want to talk to you about unwavering faith. The kind of faith that does not flinch when the timeline does not match yours. The kind of faith that stops trying to drag the mountain out of the way and instead believes that the mountain itself will move when God says move. So before I get started in the meat of this episode, I actually want to read something that I wrote in my journal recently, because I think a lot of us walking around carrying the same weight, and we just have to not set it out loud. So I sat down with the Lord the way I encourage all of you to do, and I just let Him speak. And I want you to hear the words that I believe that He gave me, because if you are anything like me, you need to hear them too. So let me get my journal out and I'll read it to you right now. May 7th, 2026, God's holy voice. I know you do not have complete faith that all things are going to work out the way that I've shared with you. Trust me, my child, that you have been chosen for these last days. Financial freedom and never to worry about any debt is always on your mind. Have I not told you that you have more than enough assets to live free and to do my will with the time that you have left? I know that it has not happened on your time, but it will happen on mine. You have been ordained to lead men and women to my kingdom. If I have ordained you, then why worry about how everything will fall into place? You will have the money, resources, connections, and land needed to carry out your mission. Believe in my word, my son, and have unwavering faith that all things work together for my good. I want you to sit with that for a second, because when I read that back to myself, I realized how often I am living in direct contradiction to what I say I believe. I say I trust God, and then I wake up at 4 a.m, sometimes calculating numbers and thinking about how to make the next move or how my side hustle will work to help people. And I just have to be patient. And I keep hearing the whispering, the same thing to me that God's saying is what He said to the apostles when the storm was rocking the boat. Why are you afraid? You have little faith. Jesus said in the Gospel of Matthew, if you have faith the size of a mustard seed, you will say to this mountain, move from here to there, and it will move, and nothing will be impossible for you. A mustard seed is one of the smallest seeds a farmer holds in his hand, and yet the Lord did not say you need a mountain of faith. He said you need a seed. He said you need something so small that you could lose it between your fingers. And that tiny seed of real, surrendered, unwavering trust in Him is enough to move what your hustle has been failing to move for years. I want to talk to you about what unwavering faith actually looks like, because I think we have been sold a counterfeit version of it. The world will tell you that faith means you grind harder, you wake up earlier, you sleep less, sacrifice for your family, and that you sacrifice your health, you sacrifice your prayer life, and you sacrifice your peace, all in the name of forcing the outcome you want. And that's not faith. That is fear wearing a costume. That is anxiety dressed up in a motivational quote. See, real faith, the kind the Lord is calling you and me to right now, looks like working hard at what is in front of you and then releasing the outcome into His hands and going to bed in peace. Unwavering faith is the willingness to do your part without trying to do God's part. Your part is to show up. Your part is being faithful in the small things. And your part is loving your wife, raising your children, coaching the kids in your community, and keeping your word. See, taking care of your body and staying in the sacraments and staying in prayer and doing the next right thing the Lord puts right in front of you. God's part is the harvest. His part is timing. His part is the open door and the right person walking into your life and the resources showing up exactly at the right moment with the land, the money, the connection, the platform, all of it. When you try to take over God's part of the equation, you are not exercising faith, you are exercising control. And control and faith cannot occupy the same heart and at the same time. Again, I want to be vulnerable with you for a minute because I think a lot of you who listen to this podcast, especially the young men between the ages of 18 and 30 that I'm trying so hard to reach, carry the same weight that I may carry. You've been told that if you just hustle hard enough, if you just grind through enough 14-hour days, you just push hard, go through the pain, that you have the breakthrough. And I'm not here to tell you that hard work does not matter. That's not what I'm saying. Hard work absolutely matters. I run ultra marathons. I do my push-ups, like I said, and pull-ups every day. I show up to the arena of life. I keep writing, recording, and I'm no stranger to effort, but what I'm telling you, and I'm telling everyone, is that without effort, without surrender, is a treadmill. You will run yourself into the ground and you will end up exactly where you started, only more tired, maybe more bitter, and more disconnected from the God who was trying to give it to you all along. See, the friction you feel, that resistance, that tightness, maybe sometimes in your chest when you're thinking about your finances or your career or future, that is not God telling you to push harder. That is God telling you to let go. The desired result you are chasing, the financial freedom, everything that you pursue, maybe the influence you want to have on social media, the family legacy you want to start, you have to look at the other side of surrender and now the other side of striving. The men and women in scripture who saw mountains move did not move them by force. Abraham did not force the sun into being. Moses didn't force the sea to part. David did not force the giant to fall. They obeyed, they trusted, and they watched God do what only God could do. When you look at your own life right now, I want to ask yourself one hard question. Where are you trying to do God's job? Where are you striving in a place where you have already been told to rest? Where are you forcing a door open that God has not unlocked yet? And where are you missing a door He already opened because you were too busy banging on the wrong one? This is the work of unwavering faith. It is a daily, sometimes hourly decision to take your hands off the wheel of the things you cannot control. Put your hands back on the things you can, which is your obedience, your discipline, your prayer, and your love for the people in your home. I will tell you what I'm doing about it in my own life because I do not want to just preach a sermon I am not living. I pray every morning before my feet hit the floor, and I'm asking the Lord one simple question. What do you want me to do today? Not what I want to do, what you want me to do. Not what the algorithm tells me to do to reach more people. And then I just try to just surrender and leave the rest to Him. I'm still working hard. I'm still showing up. I'm still building, but I'm building on His timeline now, not mine. And the peace that has come from that shift is something I cannot describe to you in a podcast. You have to experience it for yourself. If God has ordained something for your life, and I believe He has ordained something specific for every single person listening to this episode, then no amount of delay can cancel it, and no amount of hustle can speed it up. The promise is the promise. The mission is the mission. The mountain will move when He says move. And your job between now and then is not to push the mountain. Your job is to grow that mustard seed of faith inside of you so that when He finally tells you it is time, you are ready, you're sober, healthy, spiritually strong, and you are surrounded by the family and the community that He has built around you. So here is my charge to you as we wrap up this episode. Stop forcing, stop grinding for the sake of grinding. Stop measuring your worth by how exhausted you are at the end of the day. Start surrendering, start trusting, start believing that the same God who fed 5,000 with 5 loaves and 2 fish can absolutely handle whatever it is you are carrying right now. Just plant the mustard seed, water it with prayer, with the sacraments, the scripture, the obedience, and the small things, and watch what God does with his heart that finally stops fighting him and starts following him. I love you. I'm praying for you. I'm rooting for you. And I'm walking the same road right next to you, one mustard seed at a time. So stay faithful, stay focused, and keep moving forward. I love you, and may the Lord bless you and keep you all the days of your life.